Alright y'all, welcome back to Combat Arms channel. Okay, so today we're checking out another video from BFBS Creative. Now, we checked out a video with these guys previously of the Royal Marines in Gibraltar going through all those cool World War II tunnels and clearing that out. So we're checking out another video from them because again, I'm really like impressed by their quality. Now, you guys were telling me the BFBS stands for British Forces Broadcasting Service, so I didn't know they actually had that affiliation. So it makes a little bit more sense as far as the quality, but it's just, I mean, just seeing stuff from the Royal Marines in general, but seeing stuff from the British Armed Forces is really impressive. Now, I know in the last video I was saying, English as opposed to British, so I do apologize for that. I do know the difference, but sometimes I do slip up because sometimes it's easier for me to generalize and say, English, because I feel like that's more accurate and more broad, but again, it's not really so accurate. So thank you guys for keeping me in check. So we're checking out this cool video. It's a little bit shorter, it's about 6 minutes, but I think it's going to focus a little bit more on the Royal Marines in that subterranean combat. And if you guys don't know, I did do some subterranean combat training myself in the Army. A whole lot of fun. I was able to bring my CQB experience into it, but again, it's a completely different beast, so it'll be cool to see how the Royal Marine Commandos tackle this subterranean environment. So again, before we get into the video, if you guys aren't subscribed, feel free to check down below, hit that subscribe button, and also I will put the link in my description for the Discord server if you guys want to go over there and check that out, and I also have merch if you guys want to check that out. Some really cool designs. I'll throw some designs up right here so you guys can check it out. But again, thank you guys for watching. Let's get into this cool video from BFBS Creative. Already a really cool shot. So I'm not sure where this one takes place, if it's still in Gibraltar, but it might tell us. Yep. Looks like a mix between Spain and the UK. Yep. Again, subterranean combat is kind of like CQB, but it goes way more into, it's super convoluted and very niche. Oh, spooky, dude. This is sick. Okay, I gotta say, I love this intro already. Again, the video is like 6 minutes long, so they didn't need to go this in depth on just this intro, but it just really builds up the suspense and just builds up the spookiness, and it really it takes the whole commando name and just embodies it in this one little 50-second snippet. Because again, it's quiet, you hear all the ambient noise, but then you just see these commandos lurking about, and it's just a cool way of doing it. So kudos to them on that perspective. Yeah, so I think these are the World War II.
There's been a subsequent
tunnels.
Hurry of telecommunication activity. From that, 2 further cache locations have been found. We have J2 that stressed that they're trying to move the weapons in the next 36 hours, and therefore we'll be moving tonight to prevent that movement.
Hell yeah.
We're looking at moving at speed from 23:30 to hit our H hour at 00:30.
All right. I also really love it when they show the actual planning involved, because a lot of times they just go straight into the action and it doesn't really build up the suspense. You don't really know what's going on so much. So just showing the planning like that gives us a better idea of generally what's going on, but at the same time it gives us more appreciation for like some of the preparation that goes into this, because I mean it's like 85% preparation, 15% execution. So yeah, there's a lot of planning that goes into it. I wonder how many cameramen they actually get, because I feel like they're always getting these sick angles like this. So we saw in the last one, they didn't close off anything, so civilians can walk around and stuff. Makes it really immersive. I wonder what kind of movement they're actually doing. It seems like they're walking pretty far. And again, Gibraltar is just a cool mix of, different cultures. And I guess the Brits are just trying to flex that they are, they can maintain it.
Once we've reached that forward point, and then we'll look to push out a small recce group. You'll take with you the shield, the gun,
recce,
and the throwbot.
All right, so we heard the throwbot. I think I heard the shield as well. Having any drone or UAS is awesome for the reconnaissance. especially, dude, in a subterranean environment. So if you can get like a throw bot and drive that sucker around, easy day.
Okay, this is the layout of the tunnel system, I said before. Gate 17, the main effort, that's where we're looking to break in and make a foothold. And on H hour, multiple 1 will push through and assault gate 17, if possible, quietly.
So again, I do know the Royal Marine Commandos are trying to do the whole like futures commando concept, if you will. So I know they're trying to go back to the roots of what they were used for initially, like in World War II with the Satan is Air Raid or Operation Chariot. I know they're trying to go back to those roots, but it's hard for me to distinguish sometimes. I know these guys, 4-3 Commando, are specialized with CQB, so they're very focused on CQB and sort of like the small team tactics already. So this might be very natural for them, but I don't know how much of like that new concept they're actually implementing here, because this also can just look like general infantry stuff when you're talking about a raid, but I can't really see how many different teams are using. So planning does help us to see that a little bit, but again, I'm not really sure how many teams they're working with here, because it is Gibraltar. I don't imagine you're going to need that many small teams moving around if you're doing like commando operations, but again, it really depends on what they're doing. Those tunnels can get pretty messy.
As we move through, lads, we want to make sure we're using all the assets we have. We've got the shield, we've got the GPMG, and we've got the throwbot. We've also got our Siloons, and we've got all the measures that we've talked about prior to this action. Salter Troop will conduct a deliberate attack on Objective Burrow. We'll defeat GFF, find weapon caches, and neutralise the GFF threat.
GFF. I'm not really sure what that is. It might just be like an acronym for a fake enemy. But if you guys could give me some insight, I would appreciate it. But yeah, he's talking about the assets. Again, the throwbot is a good one. The GPMG is pretty legit, especially for subterranean combat. It really allows you to lock down. There's avenues of approach. There's areas where the enemy's really going to start moving down. So I do like how we're seeing the planning of them actually talking about implementing certain stuff like that.
Right, we'll sync watches again. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Yep. Mark. 1, 2, 3.
Nice. Yeah, I don't miss doing the whole time sync. I don't know. It looks cool, especially for this video, but man, those briefs can be rough sometimes. All right, here we go. Very dark. Very echoey too. I gotta say, like, every time I see their shield, it just seems so weird. It's cool that it's like camouflage. It's actually a really smart idea, especially, you know, because if you have like this big black rectangle or something that's just like, it's got glass and whatnot, it's very easy to distinguish between other things. So I mean, having a shield at this color is good because it makes it less of a target. Because if you see the big black rectangle, people know that's a shield, so they know to start either shooting around it or just start engaging it. But if you have something like this, it's just covering you and it doesn't present an easy target. But yeah, it's cool. Again, we can see, I think they're using flashbangs. I heard them talking about the Siloons, which is the chem lights. So I imagine they're going to be using that to mark off certain areas. So for subterranean combat and tunnels in general, you need to mark all those areas that you cleared out already, because it's going to get super confusing if you don't do that. I love the C8 rifles too. Saw a laser there, pretty cool. So dope. Yeah, there's a lot going on already. I do like how they're using flashbangs against like an actual physical opposing force. We didn't get to do that so much, unfortunately. Yep, you got your grainy night vision when there's no ambient light. Night vision can only really do so much, to be honest. Oh, that's so cool. That was sick. Pretty quick movement, but it seems relatively controlled. Yeah. All right, here we go. Okay, so if you have like an objective, it can be pretty easy and might be a little bit easier if the objective is just like some far room at the end of the tunnel system. But when you have objectives that's like somewhat in the middle of all this craziness, yeah, you need to start setting like boundary lines, and you need to have good communication. And sometimes it's kind of hard, especially in a tunnel, but you need to have that good communication so you know where everybody's at, so you're not having people making entry on, you know, their buddies and potentially having like a blue on blue accident. So yeah, I'm sure they had a lot of coordination. Again, we saw a little bit of the planning, so I'm sure they're doing a bunch of that there. But yeah, they're about to attack this final objective, so let's check it out. Okay. Those flashlights are having trouble making their way all the way across. This is a pretty big tunnel, to be honest. Okay, so I guess they're snagging a weapons cache. Okay, so I guess this is going to be a series because, again, we saw them doing the previous training with the, you know, moving around in Gibraltar and doing the stuff like that. And this is more specific to the tunnel warfare and the subterranean combat. So I guess they're going to be doing more stuff as far as like just centered around this Gibraltar exercise. But again, it just seems like a really awesome exercise to be a part of. I mean, doing subterranean combat training is really fun because you need to be really good with your general infantry tasks and your close quarter battle tasks, and really good with your communication before you go into a subterranean combat environment, because you need all of that to come together. And sometimes it gets a little bit messy, so you have to adapt on the fly and change things up and find different ways to communicate. So sometimes we would do something called like a connecting file. So basically you'd have to leave people behind in the tunnels so you can, you know, start yelling back or send a messenger. So because sometimes the radios don't really work too well in the tunnel, so you tend to adapt. And it's cool to see them practicing their commando tactics here, even if it's just like, you know, general CQE tactics. You can learn a lot from subterranean environments because you tend to, you know, use less of the technology and more of the actual initiative of the person. So cool to check out. Again, BFBS, you guys are doing a great job. Thank you for letting me react to your videos. I do appreciate that. Some channels have some issues with me reacting to their videos sometimes, so kind of a pain in the butt when that happens. But I do appreciate you guys being a good sport about it, and thank you for the very, very solid content, because yeah, I'm going to continue to check out this channel. If I miss anything, I'm sure you guys will do a good job of sending me those videos. You guys always send me stuff in a timely manner, and I do appreciate it. Sometimes I don't react necessarily in a timely manner, so I apologize for that, but I am checking out that stuff and putting out my list. But thank you guys again for watching the video. If you liked it, feel free to hit that thumbs up. Again, definitely consider subscribing. If you guys want to share the channel to any of your buddies, if they're interested in Royal Marines or Americans reacting to Royal Marines, feel free to share it to them as well. Again, feel free to check out that merch. Check out the Discord server as well, because that is a really, really fun place to be. A lot of very interesting conversations happening in that Discord server. But again, thank you guys for supporting the channel. Comment and let me know what you think about this awesome quality video. Thank you again. That is it for this video. I'll see you on the next one.